Hello everybody. In this video we'll be taking a look at the 2026 Senate elections as of October 2025. We'll go ahead and start this out by filling out the safe Republican states. Safe Republican states will consist of Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, South Dakota, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, South Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, and I can go throw Iowa in there. I believe that one's going to be safe. Alaska should be safe as well as of now. And then Nebraska, I believe, will be safe too, because we have Pete Ricketts as the Republican nominee instead of Deb Fischer, and Ricketts is stronger than Fischer in this race, so I still think even with Dan Osborne in the race, it will still be safe red, but probably closer to 11 or 12 points instead of 7 to 8 or the upper teens like it usually votes. And that will be it for safe Republican states, and then we'll go to the safe Democrat states. We'll have Oregon, Colorado, Delaware, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. And then Illinois will probably be safe as well. Then we can throw in Virginia and New Mexico at this rate because it looks like Republicans don't have good nominees, at least as of now, in these two states. So I believe they'll be safe blue at the time being. And that will be it for safe states. Now we'll go to likely red states. We'll start off with the state of Texas. I believe this one will be probably upper single digits, around 8 points. We have Ken Paxton, who will most likely be the Republican nominee, versus Democrats have a few options there. They run Colin Allred. He's already lost before. And then part of it is Ted Cruz was unpopular in 2024 and still won by over 8 points. No, part of it was that Trump was on the ballot, so that helped down ballot. But Ken Paxton, he underperforms other candidates a little bit. And if we look at polling, it looks like he's only underperforming Cornyn by about 2 points as of now. But Texas, for now, about 8 points red. Ohio's another likely red state. Reason being is that John Husted's actually a pretty good candidate for the Republicans. It looks like Democrats will nominate Sherrod Brown again, who lost in 2024 but has historically outperformed other candidates. He even outperformed in 2024. But still, Bernie Moreno was able to beat him by nearly 4 points. But Husted is a stronger candidate than Brown. Well, that and Husted is stronger than Moreno. So in that case, because of that, and then Brown is also not the incumbent, so we could see Ohio being about 6 to 7 points red in this case. Maybe more. I doubt it goes under 5, but just depending on how Husted runs a campaign. If he runs a weak one, then somehow it could go under 5, but for now, about 7 points there. The state of Maine as well, I believe, is just likely red. Right now, Democrats have still not decided on a candidate here. They floated around the idea about Graham Plattner, and then now there's also a couple other ones in mind that they have. They still have not settled on a candidate, and you've got to have a strong candidate to defeat Susan Collins because she does really well with independents. Even though Republicans and Democrats disapprove of her, the independents is where she does really well with. There's plenty of these Republicans that will still just go out and vote for Susan Collins, so Maine is more of a wild card race though, because in 2020 we saw everybody predicting it to flip and that Susan Collins would go down, but she still was able to win by almost 9 points, even like that. So Susan Collins is historically an overperformer, but things could go the opposite way in 2026, but for now, likely red is how I have it. Now we'll go to the likely blue states. Start off with the state of Minnesota. This one is going to be an open race. It looks like Democrats have a decent candidate for this race, so they'll be able to win it by upper single digits. And if Royce White becomes the nominee, that could hurt Republicans even more there, and Democrats could possibly win it by a safe margin. But for now, since it's an open race, I'll put it likely blue, because we saw in 2024 the Senate was safe blue. Part of it is Klobuchar is a big overperformer, and another part is Royce White was such a weak candidate. So if Republicans nominate him again, there's a shot it could go safe. But for now, I'll have it upper single digits. And New Jersey, I believe, will be likely blue as well. Cory Booker performed nearly on par with Joe Biden in 2020. With this midterm environment, if Republicans cannot find a decent candidate, it's probably going to be between 6 to 9 points blue as of now. If Republicans can find a strong challenger, then things could get closer. But for now, I'm just going to put it likely blue as of caution. And we just don't know too much about the race, except Cory Booker is probably going to run again. That's all we know. Now we'll go to the lean blue state, because I don't believe there'll be any lean red states as of now. New Hampshire, I'm demoting from likely blue to lean blue. Part of this is because John Sununu is teasing a run for this, and if John Sununu is the Republican nominee, it'll be closer than if it was Scott Brown. I had this likely blue before because Chris Pappas is an overperformer. We do have to keep that in mind. If it's John Sununu versus Chris Pappas, things could shake up differently, but for now, just because he's not an incumbent, and after all, he did lose again in 2008, he was the incumbent, and then he lost and got defeated by the Democrat. So just for now, I'll keep it about 3 to 4 points blue. But who knows, because Republicans have been surging in registrations in this state, so that could help them out. But for now, about lean blue is fair. And now we'll go to the 3 really close states. I believe all 3 of these will be under 2 points, whichever way they go. And we'll start off with the state of Georgia. In this state, we're looking to have a big primary contest for Republicans here between mainly 3 candidates. We have Buddy Carter, we have Mike Collins, and we have Derek Dooley. Those are the main 3 candidates here that are going for a primary contest, as you can see. And there's so many undecideds as well, so that could hurt them too. Looks like out of the 3, looks like Mike Collins is the strongest one. He was able to get tied in a poll with all these undecideds. But Jon Ossoff has a big fundraising advantage, so that could help him out here. He did lose right before the runoff in 2020, so that could maybe hurt him too, but now he's in the incumbent, so he has that advantage. And because of the fundraising advantage and the divided Republican field here, for now I'm going to put this as a tilt blue. If Republicans can settle on a candidate here soon and run a strong campaign, it could go red. But if they pick a weak candidate, it could go lean blue. But for now, tilt blue I think is a fair rating here. And North Carolina, this one's going to be really close. As of now, it looks like we have Roy Cooper versus Michael Whatley is what it's looking to be. Michael Whatley, he was the former chair of the RNC, and he's ran as the Republican chair. He's been in that position in North Carolina before, but is he able to resonate well on the Senate level? We're not sure. But Roy Cooper, he's won many statewide races here, and he typically overperforms a little bit. But polls also typically overestimate Cooper. We saw in 2020 where had him up by double digits and high single digits, and he only won by 4. So I mean, he still overperforms other candidates, but the polls have him overestimated. But we'll just see as the race gets closer. We just have to see how this could be. But I think at the end of the day, it will actually be really close. Because, I mean, another thing you have to take into account, this is a federal race. And it's hard for Democrats to win North Carolina on the federal level. And party registrations are slightly going towards the right as well in the state. So So this is things to be considered. But for now, I still think Roy Cooper's got the edge, but just very narrowly. But we'll just have to see how Michael Whatley runs his campaign, if he's able to resonate with voters well, and if Roy Cooper is able to carry over some voters that voted for him on the state level to also vote for him on the federal level. And final state, the state of Michigan. This one's going to be a pretty interesting race here. It looks like we have a primary contest on the Democrat side here, mainly between Haley Stevens, Mallory McMorrow, and Abdel El-Sayed. Those are the main three candidates in this primary contest. It looks like overall Haley Stevens is winning these by a little bit, but again, there's all these undecideds as well. Republicans seem pretty united with Mike Rogers here, so that could help them out. We're looking definitely against Abdel El-Sayed and Mallory McMorrow. Mike Rogers is winning those polls. Against Haley Stevens, as of now, looks like she's winning the polls right now, but just taking a look at this, because of that divided primary, and the Democrat candidates are not the strongest either. Alyssa Slotkin was a strong Democrat, and she barely won in 2024. Part of it was Trump on the ballot, so that helped Mike Rogers out some, but Mike Rogers is an alright candidate for this state. And for that primary contest on the Democrat side, and none of those candidates being the strongest for the state, I have to give the edge to Mike Rogers here by a tilt-red margin. So not much change from my September prediction. The main change here I have is putting New Hampshire to lean blue instead of likely blue. Other than that, it looks like my prediction's about the same. So thank you everyone for watching. Be sure to comment down below, like and subscribe. Let me know what you agree, disagree on, and bye.